Yeah, hi friends, Doc South here, and well, here it is, Veterans Day, and oh, I again we should honor all our veterans from whatever situation, whatever war they were in. Uh, Bless their hearts for going, but I can you've got to feel for them too, especially the ones that wind up in battles and tough situations, ship battles, airplane battles. It's it's got to really, you get right down to it, it's got to stink. I don't think it's in our nature necessarily to want to go out and kill someone or be killed by that person. And in war, you're in a spot where a lot of times it's kill or be killed. And boy, I've run into people that kind of slough that off who are veterans, but I've also run into people that said, "Man, they really didn't dig the idea of shooting some other poor slob across the field, or him shooting at them." Um, I remember one guy. Gee, I was going to interview him. He was evidently in some battle in Vietnam, and um, he kind of lit into me, and maybe deservedly so. I was a little too gung ho, and he said, I think he actually looked at me and said, "Were you over there?" I said, "No." He says, you just can't imagine. And he says, you really shouldn't talk like it's a big, like it was some great, some big ball game or something. He says it wasn't. We were killing each other and it sucked. Is exactly how he put it. And uh, he said he just, sometimes at night he prays he never winged anyone or shot anyone. He hoped he didn't. Doesn't know if he did or didn't, but he's hoping he didn't. I remember when I lived down in North Carolina, I had a, a well, I shared a house. I had one half. A friend of mine named Huang had the other half. Huang, I could hear him. Well, I was just getting over a divorce and had moved away from my kids and my ex-wife, and I'd sometimes be in my bungalow, my part of the bungalow, kind of crying my heart out, and I could hear through the thin partitions that separated Huang's spot from mine. I could hear him crying, and he was crying because, well, he was in the Vietnamese Navy. They actually did have a bit of a navy, and when Vietnam fell, South Vietnam fell, the crew took a vote and said, "We're not landing. They're going to kill us if we if we go to port." They voted to just start heading east to America. They got in with a convoy. The convoy fueled him up, and he said he never saw his family again. And you could hear him just sobbing his heart out some nights. It was heart wrenching to hear. He eventually settled in. I guess he squared up with his Vietnamese wife, and I guess they got a divorce, an amicable divorce, and he eventually met someone in America. And last I knew, he was happy as a clam, and I guess it all sort of worked out. But you can imagine, and I would think. Well, I think of that that Sergeant Donaldson. I did a story about earlier today. The fellow who got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He he was, by the end of him telling the story of his time in World War One, he was a sobbing wreck, and an alcoholic. It really got to him, all that he went through, and he killed quite a few people to save his unit, but he feels awful about killing them. I can see where that could be pretty tough. I'm sure there's people that, eh, I don't know. I don't think it's in anyone's nature to necessarily, oh boy, I can't wait. I'm going to shoot a bunch of the enemy. I don't think that's, I think it'd be a rare person that feels that way. Myself, truly feels that way. It's, it's got to be. something that really weighs on you. I know, well, we had many soldiers come back from recent wars and evidently committed suicide over the trauma they went through. Again, we probably would do well to honor our veterans, of course, for what they went through and how they protected us. But they did pay a price, and we must always, always remember to honor them for what they went through. It couldn't have been easy. It could not have been easy, I would think, in any case. I digress, but I just thought I'd say that. You know, in their honor, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever, so be it. God bless our soldiers. And I think that's, right now, honestly, I feel like I could start sobbing something fierce just thinking about what they went through. All our soldiers. Veterans Day. Honor them. They really put it on the line for us. I'll see you later. Thank you, and God bless.